पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथिता पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणी भगवती अष्टादशाध्यायिनी अम्ब त्वाम् अनुसन्धदामि भगवद्गीते वस्तुते व्यासविशालबुद्धे पुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयप्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो नन्दः पार्थो वत्स सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनम् देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरननदी कैवर्तक केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगान्धोत्कटम् नानाख्याननकेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधना बोधितम् लोके सज्जन षट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयात् भारत पंकजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्र रुद्रमरुतस्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुः सुरासुरगणा देवाय तस्मै नमः। हरिः ओम्।
What we have covered on what the Vita is covered yesterday, it will be contributed to what we are going to learn today. Yesterday, at the end of the session, the Vita made a statement. Yes, we are not always with Sabata. We are all Sabata. So we are not come here at all. So we support Vita. And so, the reason the Lord is always there, and this will be further expanded in the comments book. When Krishna, Arjuna raises the doubts, and Krishna tells him how grace will be there. Not only this work, this work, this work, and all that. So, we started with the shloka number 8, which says that one who conquers senses is contained there. That means continued person will have Sarvatra Samabuddhi. Sarvatra Samabuddhi means whether it is a stone, whether it is a heart, whether it is a diamond, or whether it is a gold, or it is all is same. And going to this shloka, Professor took Jnana means you experience. Sugar is sweet. That is the knowledge. But when you taste the sugar, then you really know that it is the sweet. Then everything is there. So then yogi who conquer senses remains unshaken. What is said, puja stuff. Unshaken by trials and tribulations of life. And then the next yoga is said that soul regards all people with equal vision. All people will get very little concentrate over it. And he further said, one who looks with equal regard, he attains excellence. These are all the statements made by Lord Krishna. So we must believe in it and we must also follow what it said. And then we went through 6 to 6:50. Preparatory work for the meditation because meditation then you need to have some preparation. What is the solitude? Solitude means loneliness. That does not mean you need to go to Himalaya to do the meditation. Right in your own house, if yourself is in neat place and you can do that. And you need to have concentrated mind and body subdued, and you must be free from desires and possessions. Here we also have to relate to Ramaya where Nitya Ekanta Krishna. We want to mock the people who can only take it down depends upon the individual. Even in the crowd also you can feel the loneliness. It all depends upon your mind. And other preparations is that meditation see neither it should be too high where the risk of falling down, or it should be too low where something else will fall on your head. So it should be on a plane. And your mind should be single pointed and senses controlled. Mind is when you are doing meditation, mind constantly goes to mind is nothing but full of thoughts. So very difficult to arrest your thoughts as control thoughts. So it goes out, then you have to bring back. It goes up, then you have to bring back. And he said, to start with, you gaze at the tip of your nose. No, somebody's nose. Or a plate, or you listen later. And later you can close your eyes and get a mental picture of your Lord, whoever is Lord is there, that to keep on meditating and doing the jhana chanting. And there are some more prerequisites there to meditation. It should be serene minded, a agitated mind can never do a meditation. If your mind is agitated, you don't have some family problem because you are fighting with somebody else. Whether don't do meditation because you are not able to concentrate on that. It is fearless. And then Brahmacharya. Here the Brahmacharya, meaning of Brahmacharya is control of senses. The senses have the tendency to go out, So then you must constantly think about the Lord. Then he means it is not only just 15 minutes in the morning and then you go alone. It's not a part-time activity, it's a full-time activity. This is not yesterday, but somewhere it is said that when you are on the deathbed, if you say Narayana, you will get liberated straight away. But can you get Narayana at the deathbed? No. Unless you start practicing now, then only you will get Rama, Krishna, Narayana, then you can get liberated. Constant remembrance of God is very much necessary. Constantly seeking union with the self. And 16 and 17, he says neither you should eat too much or not to starve the body. Whereas this professor says this body is a divine blessing from the Lord. Without this body, you can't do any sadhana. This body is required. So that's why this body needs to be maintained. From that, neither you should need too much, nor you should stop. Whatever is required, that you should do. Then you cannot keep yourself awake or sleep for 12 hours a day. There are people who sleep for that. And who just like that, or people like us, 6 hours is more than the people. 6 hours. Then next one is that we moderate your meeting also sleep. So that is the aesthetic of the
Thank you. Okay, so after a nice summary by GL Rao, we'll continue with our sessions. So yesterday we stopped with Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Karmasya Cheshtasu, Yukta Sopna Avabodhasya, Yogo Bhavati, Yogi Bhavati, Yog Dukkaha. That's where we stopped. So this Yukta Ahara, Yukta Achara Vicharas, Yukta Cheshtas, this is a very, very important enabler. As Anukula Agate. If we, do some Vishama, then this process will get a little spoiled. That's why Krishna is, expressing that. So this is what we saw. Yuktahara Viharasya, Yukta Cheshtasya Karmasu, Yukta Swapna Avabodhasya Yogo Bhavati Dukkaha. Is where it starts. So this ahara, Shankaracharya in his bhashya. See, ahara andre normally ahara andre now uta anta now nenapittukolvi. That's what we will think. Ahara means eating. Ahara doesn't mean that. That which is consumed. Food is the only one thing you consume. There are so many things you consume through your ears, through your eyes, through your nose. All are ahara. So when he says yukta ahara, be moderate in your many behavior, not just food. Yesterday we only said food, but the word ahara means yat ahriyate tat ahara. That which is consumed, which is taken inside. What is taken inside, obvious thing is food. But so many things we take inside, so many feelings, so many emotions, so many signals. So that is the yukta. So it is very important to know. This is the example. The veena, when you have a veena, the veena string cannot be too tight. If it is too tight, it will get cut as they start playing the veena. If it is too loose, no swara will come, only apaswara. In fact, no sound will come. So it is like that. We should keep this body like a well prepared veena. That's where the middle part is important. You cannot be too tight, you cannot be too loose. When it comes to the instrument, any stringed instrument, veena is only a udaharana. So that is what yukta and ahara is. Neither too much, not too less. Not dreaming too much, not. So this is what the Buddhists call it as the middle path. This is exactly, they also say in Buddhism they use a word called middle path. So they use similar. So as I told, so yukta, in fact, the next few shlokas, this word yukta is going to come now. He is going to define yukta many times in Bhagavad Gita. That's why ayukta shloka I said. Nasti buddhir ayuktasya, nacha ayuktasya, yukta, yogi, sannyasi, these are all in a way synonyms, if you really look at it like that. So one with the balanced state of manas, buddhi and the indriyas will be a yukta. So it is bringing a certain rhythm. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಋತ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದೇ ಆಂಗ್ಲ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ರಿದಮ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಋತ, ಸತ್ಯಂ and rhythm. The rhythm becomes rhythm in English, same meaning. It is a certain order of, it synchronizes with nature. That is called rhythm, right? So a yukta is one who has rhythm, who has aligned himself with the prakriti, his prakriti, is aligned with the mahaprakriti. That is an yukta. So as I told you, ahriyate iti aharaha. So it can be not just food, anything that we consume must be in a very moderated measure. So these are useful things. These are very important. These will do the anukula for our journey of trying to capture this mind and trying to keep it under our control, right? So now, so far, Sri Krishna talked about the importance of meditation and the simple steps in meditation. Now he is going to say what will happen if you do meditation. Because in Shloka 8, 9, 10, he said how little bit. Next 10, 12 shlokas, he is going to give in good detail what exactly happens for a person who travels in this road forward. What really happens to such a person. So, with the shloka alla adene chapter nalli. Yada vinitam chittam atmanyevavatisthate nisprihas sarvakamebhyo yukta ityuchyate tada. He is giving one definition for yukta here. Yuktaha iti uchyate. In Sanskrit, in Hindi also, in other languages also, there are always pairs of words. Yada tada. When this happens, that happens. So here you see yada and tada. When this happens, then he is called a yukta. So that's how this shloka is. So it starts with yada and ends with tada. When this happens, at that time. That is the correct meaning. So what it says, yada vinitam chittam atmani eva avatishtati. There are 4 padas there. They are all in sandhi. Chittam atmani eva avatishtati. Chittam atman eva tishtate. These are all in sandhi. See, in Sanskrit, the moment you break it, mostly you'll understand the meaning. That's why before we do anything, we should learn only sandhi first. Tumba upayoga agate. Because many times when you break the words, more or less you got the meaning. That's what happens. So, chittam atmani eva avatishtate. Nalak pada ide. Nisprihaha sarvakamebhyah yuktah iti uchyate tada. So that is how the padacheda of this. So what he is saying? Chittam atmani eva avatishtate. Chitta here means the mind. We have to contextually understand. Chitta sometimes means memory. Chitta sometimes means mind. In this discussion, chitta means mind because we are talking about mind control now. So, yada chittam atmani eva avatishtate. When it resides into the quintessential source of everyone. See, now, nanu inta heluru, our American agli, Indian agli, or he, maybe a man or a woman, old or young. Moment you say I, our hand goes like this. As child irli, as hiriyer irli. If your hand is like this, you can touch like this. There is the nearest point. You don't do that. You take the hand all the way and put here. Because somewhere our epicenter is here. This is only an indication. If somebody asks, Hridaya anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. Hridaya andre not this pathological device, not the heart. Hridaya is only a sthana. It is only an indication that when you say I, we put our hand. I did it. Automatically hand goes like this. I did it. For every one of us, there is one epicenter. It is approximately here. Okay. So, Atmani eva avatishtate means your mind finally resides in the place from which it is coming out. It is called spurti. This mind is actually vritti. It should start from somewhere, no? And then it keeps going on and on. I went to Chicago, I did this, masala dosa, all those will come there. It's all coming from the mind, no? That started from there, where? An approximate place is this place. So, yadi chittam atmani avatishtate, which means the mind goes and rests there. When you do dhyana, where does the mind parks itself? What is the parking lot? Parking lot is the source from which we draw all our energy. Namdu ade. So that is what it means. Yada vinitam chittam. Vinitam means controlled, we made effort and then brought it to a certain level of control. And that goes and resides in that place, which is our existential nature. The reference point for our existential nature. What happens if it goes there? It will become nispriha. There are no this chalana. There are no these desires. Sarva kamebhyaho nispriha. Yenu nanak bekilla. Nothing I need. That is the true sense of contentment. Contentment is not saying I will buy this mobile, because if I say I buy i12, i13 has come in a green color now. That's what the advertisement says. I never have Apple, but I read paper. Okay. Contentment is not in achieving these things. Contentment is giving up everything. I don't need anything. At that position only the real contentment will come. And that experience will come when the mind goes and resides in that point, which is our quintessential nature. Nisprihaha sarva kamebhya yuktaha iti uchyate tada. Only then he is called a yukta. Until then he is not called a yukta. This is what Sri Krishna is saying here. Now, all of us have this experience every day. He is not telling something which is some complex idea which we can only listen in a satsanga and go home. No, in fact, our literature, that is the charm of our literature. Every day, every living being, not just Manushya, every living being get into what is called Sushupti. Jagrat, Swapna, Sushupti. Avastha Trayaklu ide. Jagra Avastha, Iga Navala Ukutirodu, Jagrat Avastha. Swapna, it's a shallow sleep. Not sound sleep, it is shallow sleep. Now, mind has no work to do. That is Swapna. Okay? Then Sushupti, it is sound sleep. Now, in Sushupti, because in Sushupti, this mind goes and parks itself in that point. I don't know, I don't have my consciousness. Manas, Buddhi, Ahankara, Chitta, Indriyas, body, everything is gone. That is called Sushupti. That is called sound sleep. When you make sound, I should not get up. That is called sound sleep. Simple idea. You ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಲಾಟ ಮಾಡಿ ನಾನು ಕೆಲವರು they are all blessed people. ಎಷ್ಟು ಗಲಾಟ ಮಾಡಿ ಅವರು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಒಂದು ನಿದ್ರೆ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅವರಿಗೆ. That is called Sushupti. In Sushupti ಈ ಅನುಭವ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. In Sushupti what is the desire? ಏನು desire ಇಲ್ಲ, objects ನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಇಂದ್ರಿಯಾರ್ಥಗಳು ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರಪಂಚ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಾನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Nane illanta, it is a temporary understanding. But you confirm I was there. How you got up and said I had a good sleep? Where did this I come from? So I must have been there. So Nani illanda helake agala. Nanu illa andre Nanu heludu sullu agbidutte. I had a good sleep in there. I am bluffing now. Since I am saying I had a good sleep, I was there. I was alone. I was with none of the upadhis. All these upadhis were dropped. My ahankara was dropped. I don't even know I am a male or a female. I don't know I am a Raja or beggar. I don't know whether I am old or young. I don't know whether I was happy yesterday or not happy yesterday. None of them I know. I don't know whether nothing. Ee anubhava. So ee anubhava irutte. The only problem is anubhava is there, awareness is not there. That's why we tell in past tense. We had anubhava but no awareness, because our indriyas are all not switched on. They were all switched off. But somewhere this I was there. That's why this I usurped itself and said, I had a good sleep. I had a very good sleep. And that joy of saying that is unparalleled. That satisfaction we get when you have a good sleep cannot be compensated with anything in life. That's what this shloka is saying. So this looks very paradoxical. ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಇವು ನಿಸ್ಪೃಹ ಸರ್ವ ಕಾಮೇಭ್ಯ ಆ ಅನುಭವಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗ್ತೀವೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ಮಟ್ಟಕ್ಕೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ನಿರಂತರ ಸಂತೋಷ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. ಐ ಮೀನ್ ಇಟ್ ಲುಕ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಂಜ್, ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ರೂಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಗೇಮ್. The more we say I don't want, looks like we will be more contented. ಆ ಮನೋಭಾವ ಯಾವಾಗ ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ. That's what he is saying here. Sarvakamebyah nisprihah yuktah. So we are all yuktas, but we are ignorant. In Sushupti, we are all yuktas because that's why we are fully charged. Or in fact, when we are tired, when it is boring, we want to go there. And that activity will never tire us, it will never bore us. Only when it is boring, we go there. Ade agutte. So, aa anubhava. But aa anubhava jagrat avasthenalli barbeku. Sushuptinalli ide iga. Adu enu prayojana illa. We only recollect. ಆ ಅನುಭವದಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಕೂತಿರ್ಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಇದ್ವಿ ಅಂತ ಒಂದು ಇದೆ. ಐ ವಾಸ್ ದಟ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಮ್ದು ಅನುಭವ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಅ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ಅನುಭವ. whereas ಧ್ಯಾನ, that is the difference between ಸುಷುಪ್ತಿ and samadhi. In samadhi, ಅನುಭವ is there along with awareness. In ಸುಷುಪ್ತಿ ಅನುಭವ ಇದೆ, ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಟೈಮ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಐ ರಿಕಾಲ್ ಮೆಮರಿ, ಒಂದು ಅನುಭವ ಇತ್ತು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ that is what will happen in a dhyana. That is what will happen, and at that time you will be a yukta. That's what Krishna is saying in this shloka. Yada deepo nivatasto nengate sopama smrta yogino yata chittasya yunjato yogamatmanah. How is this anubhava? How does it look like? So he wants to give an example. ಅವರು ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿ ಆ ತರ ಇರತ್ತೆ ನಿಮ್ದು ಅನುಭವ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಈ ಶ್ಲೋಕನಲ್ಲಿ. ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ? ಯಥಾ ದೀಪಃ, ದೀಪೋ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ ಸಂಧಿ. ಇಫ್ ಯು ಡೂ ಅ ಪದಛೇದ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬಿಕಮ್ ದೀಪಃ. See this visarga sandhi. Visarga is these two dots, no? If you do a visarga and if you want to make a sandhi, either it will disappear, lepa, it will become lopa, or it will become ukara and okara, or it will become ra. These are the only three possibilities. So when you do the reverse, deepo will become deepah, nivatasto will become nivatastah. They are all visarga sandhi actually. Okay. Injato will be ginah. All these are visarga. In sandhi they have become okara. Ukara it becomes and then becomes okara. There is a two-step process. Okay. Anyway, so yata deepah nivatastah na ingate. There are actually two words there. Nengate is na ingate. A plus e becomes a. Na ingate. Ingate means flicker. Right? See, you know, the hurricane lamp in the glass ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ ನಾವು. ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಗ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. In fact, hurricane lamp ಈಗ ಇದೆಯೋ ಇಲ್ವೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ. We were all using hurricane lamp so much. But once in 1985, I remember 8 days we had no power in Chennai because the eye of the storm was in Chennai. It poured like anything. 8 days we had no current. At that time, we bought 20, hurricane lamp. I tell you, when we were hanging hurricane lamps, 4 of them, far superior than this light actually. I mean, fan was not there, but light was absolutely fantastic. We put 4 hurricane lamps in every room because 8 days we had no power. The eye of the storm was in Chennai. So the hurricane lamp is called a hurricane lamp because even in a hurricane, the flame will not flicker. 80 kilometers, 100 kilometers, 120 kilometers per hour wind is called a hurricane. Na? It will be like this. Even at that time, it won't flicker. That's why the lamp is designed like that. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಹರಿಕೇನ್ ಲ್ಯಾಂಪ್ ಇಂದ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಈವನ್ ಇನ್ ಹರಿಕೇನ್ ಏನು ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ನೇಂಗತೆ. That is what it is. So he gives that example. He says, just like this flame of the lamp will never flicker, when you put the right protection, we have made a protection. We have created a structure in such a way that even if you switch on the fan, nothing happens. So he says, dhyana is the protection for your mind. Mind is flickering all the time. Mind is going either udar. It's going ello hogta de. So now what do you do about it? It is like flickering all the time when there is a wind. In fact, that is upama given for mind. They say flickering mind. They say like that. Now they use the word flickering mind. Because that flame, there is even if you just put a deepa here, hurricane la beda. ಒಂದು ಚೂರು gentle air ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು flickering ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. So you'll see all the time it will be flickering. You can see all the time it will be flickering. Steady ಆಗಿ ಇರಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ you have to keep one protection. ಒಂದು glass ಏನೋ ಒಂದು ಹಾಕಬೇಕು, right? That is exactly our mind. Our mind will slip and go. So Krishna says that if you really practice dhyana, do this meditation, then this dhyana and meditation is doing what? It is actually creating this protection like for the hurricane lamp. So it puts this protective layer around your mind. Sa upama smrita. Remember that upama. Remember that simile. That is what will happen. Yatha deepaha nivatastaha na ingate sa upama smrita. Sa upama srita. That becomes upama. This is also again one sandhi. Sa upama smrita. Think of that simile. That is what meditation will do for you. Because that is the starting point of our discussion on day one. This mind is flickering. It is very fickle. They call us mind chatter. All the time it is chattering. Something or other, it goes on and on and on, and it's like all the time the flame is flickering all the time. Chanchalam hi mano Krishna, we are going to see it a little later. Chanchalam hi mano Krishna, pramadi balavatridam tasyaham vigraham manye. That's what he is going. Arjuna's first question is that. So the chanchala. He says, yoginaha yata chittasya. So one who has done this yata, this effort, chittasya effort, you work on your mind. You constantly work on your mind. Make these simple things which we talked yesterday. Try it one step at a time, repeatedly. Try it slowly. He is going to say, Shanay Uparamet, all those are going to come. He is going to say all that in this chapter. So yoginaha yata chittasya yunjate yogamatmanaha. They finally get connected to their epicenter. Through yoga, they are going to touch their existential plane. Today we have let ourselves out. Our consciousness is flowing out. It is not flowing in. It is all the time flowing out. If you let it flow in, it may go and touch our quintessential point. That's what he is saying. And if that happens, then this is like now we have put on cover for the mind. The mind will now stop flickering. So that is the example he gives. Yoginaha yata chittasya yunjataha yogamatmanaha. He really gets connected. And once he gets connected, it is like putting this layer. So the mind will slowly, it will not start flickering like this. It will reach a steady state. Which means from 10,000 thoughts, slowly it will start tapering. 10,000 thoughts per minute, it will come to 500 thoughts per minute. Then after some more effort, it will become 200 thoughts per minute. Slowly it will, manaha samadhiyatam. That's what they say. Manaha samadhiyatam. Rest the mind. Find the technique of resting the mind. And that resting the mind is done by meditation. That's where the dhyana comes. That's where the Atma Samyama Yoga actually comes. So he says it will protect. It will make sure the mind will stop flickering. It will not flicker that much. That's what he's saying in this shloka. Yatro paramate chittam niruddham yoga sevaya yatra chaivatmanatmanam Pashyannatmani tushyati. Yatra uparamate chittam viruddham yoga sevaya. Yatra cha eva atmana atmanam pashyan atmani tushyati. This is how this shloka is. So there is this word uparamate. It is very important to understand this word uparamate. Ramate means one who revels. Ramate iti Ramya, Ramate iti Ramaha. The words are all coming from there. He is the source of happiness. Right? That's why word Ramya, Rama are all coming from that root only. From this. In fact, in Sanskrit, I do not know how many of you know. In Sanskrit, all words come from verbs only. There is a very small set of words which come without any verb. So my name is Mahadeva. It comes from a word called Dyoti. Dyoti means shines. So Deva comes from Dyoti. Udaharanatham. Rama comes from Ramyate iti Ramaha. Ramyate iti Ramya. Strilingam. Every word comes only from a root, from a verb, from a dhatu, from a verbal root. That's the charm of Sanskrit language. All nouns also. Nouns also will come only from verb, most of the cases. Only a small set of nouns come without any. That's a very exception actually. So this word Ramate. Ramate means one who enjoys, one who revels, one who is at it, so on. Now Sri Krishna has put a word Upa. It's a Upasarga, prefix. Because this Ramate is a derivation of a verb only. Ramyate iti Ramate. So it's a verb. Prefix can be put only for verb forms, not for noun. Only for verb you can put. So jnana is a noun, but jnana comes from the verb called jna. Jna to know. It is derived from that. So it's a verb form only. That's why you have vijnana, samjnana, abhijnana. Right? Achara, vichara, samskaroti, upakaroti, apakaroti, parikaroti. You can, for a verb, you can put any number of. So here it is upa. The upasarga, upa means near. In Upanishad, upa means near. Apa means away. So he says, you revel very close, which means you revel here, not. See, we are all the time reveling on outside objects. Many times we enjoy and we revel in outside objects. By putting the word uparamate, he says you revel very close to yourself, which means inside, not outside. You revel inside, not outside. See, there are two words in English. I don't know how many of you think about it. One is called joy, other is called enjoy. To enjoy, you need actually the indriyarthas. To enjoy, you need the indriyas and the indriyarthas. You need good food to enjoy, you need a good music for the ear, or a good smell to enjoy the sugandha. Joy needs no indriyas. That's the difference between joy and enjoy. Joy means it is something which can happen independent of all these indriyas. So the uparamate is closer to the joy. It is that ultimate joy. Sometimes out of enjoyment, you may get joy. You may or may not get joy. That joy can be temporary. So understand, joy is different from enjoy. Joy is the outcome of a process of enjoyment. But without that process also, you can get joy sometimes. That is what uparamana is all about. So he says, uparamate, yatra chittam uparamate. The mind is reveling very close to itself, which means the mind is reveling inside, not outside. That is the meaning. The mind is not reveling outside. It is reveling inside only. Okay? Which means it has turned inside. A little bit it has turned inside. So, yatra chittam uparamate niruddham yoga sevya. By this continuous effort of this yoga, by the seva of yoga that we constantly do, niruddham yoga sevya, also yatra, also eva, when such a thing happens, that the mind is able to revel in itself inside, rather than stepping out to see how to enjoy. It finds joy inside. Then what will happen? Atmana Atman Pashyan, Atmanam Pashyan. With the mind, you Pashyan is a present continuous in Sanskrit. Gachan, Pashyan means is going, like that. So Pashyan means you are experiencing that process of Atmana Atmanam Pashyan. You discovered your epicenter, which is your Atma, right? Through this activity of dhyana. Through the activity of dhyana, nankadu gottayitu aa anubhavanalli idene iga idene, that is the continuous. Na ee anubhavanalli idene. So when I am like that, Atmana Atmanam Pashyan Atmani Tushyati, I revel in that experience only. I don't have to go out now anymore. I don't have to find. See, this is our biggest problem. Our happiness is a function of what you tell about me. My happiness is a function of whether you smile at me or not. If you don't smile at me, today's youngsters, they have to put a photo and see how many of these things are put. Otherwise, the day is gone for it. It has gone to such a level. My joy is a function of how many likes I get. Into the social media, you have to put some photo, and then after putting the photo, I find these children. Sometimes we also get into this trouble. Actually, every 3 hours, we find out how many likes are there. Right? So the mind says, no, I don't need any external cues anymore. ನನಗೆ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಏನು ಅವಶ್ಯಕತೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. That's why he says Atmana Atmanam Pashyan Atmani Tushyati. Everything is happening only inside. ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಏನು ಕೆಲಸನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. Everything happens inside. This whole joy, contentment and happiness are no more a factor of what is happening out. Doesn't mean we don't do anything outside. It means whatever we do outside will not come in. There is an iron gate we have put now. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್. ನಾವು ಏನೋ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಸಮಾಜದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದರಿಂದ ಸಾಕತ್ತು ಇದು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ. ಡಿಪ್ರೆಷನ್ಸ್, ಡಿಸಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಅನ್ಹ್ಯಾಪಿನೆಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ. ನಾವು ಧ್ಯಾನ ವಿ ಪುಟ್ ಐರನ್ ಗೇಟ್. ನೀವು ಇನ್ಫೋಸಿಸ್ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಕಂಪನಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗೇಟ್ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದೇ ತರ ಒಂದು ಗೇಟ್. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಬ್ಲಾಕ್. ದಟ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಗೇಜ್ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್. We will continue to engage with the outside world. It is not that we are withdrawing from the world. Don't get me like that. ಸಮಾಜನಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ. ಆ ಸಿಗ್ನಲ್ಸ್ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಬರಲ್ಲ. ನೋ ಎಂಟ್ರಿ. ಇದು ಒನ್ ವೇ ಆಗಿದೆ ಈಗ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಯು ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಕಮ್ ಇನ್. ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಸಿಂಪಲ್. ಆಲ್ ಮೈ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್, ಮೈ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್, my contentment, my joy are all matters belonging to the world inside. I will do whatever it has to be done in the world outside. ವ್ಯವಹಾರ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀವಿ ನಾನು, ಬಟ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ವಿಷಯಗಳಿಗೆ. ಫಾರ್ ದೀಸ್ ಮ್ಯಾಟರ್ಸ್ ರೆಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಇಸ್ ಇನ್ಸೈಡ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವಾಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಧ್ಯಾನ ಟ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ us. Slowly it turns us to that frame of mind. This is very, very, if you have even tasted it a little bit once, I think we have the greatest blessing of the Lord. Ekandre unsal adnandre saku, it will find its way. So that is what he is saying. Atmana Atmanam Pashyan Atmani Tushyati Uparamate. So he gets in, which means he will be himself. He will be always, he or she will be always with him or her, but he will be in the Samaja anyway. Great Santa Mahajanas were like that.
State of samadhi.
Samadhi, in a state of samadhi, this duality that my mana, my atma, and all that will also melt. Ekatvam anubhuyate. So you can't say samadhi. It is little closer to samadhi. You can say that much. So I remembered this mantra in Mahanarayana Upanishad. 80 beautiful mantras. Very nice Upanishad. In Taittiriya it is there. Chapter 4 of Taittiriya. I thought I will just show it. We recite this mantra. This is exactly what that shloka is saying. And look at this mantra. It says, Ardram Jolati Jyoti Rahamasmi. Jyotir Jalati Brahma Hamasmi. Yo Hamasmi Brahma Hamasmi. Ahamasmi Brahma Hamasmi. Aham Eva Hammam Juhomi Swaha. You know what he says? Aham Eva Aham. I am I alone. There is nothing else. I am living inside. That is the meaning here. Aham eva aham. Aham eva aham. Mam juhomi. I am offering me into this whole yajna of jnana. I am offering only me. Everything is me. Ardram jolati jyotihi ahamasmi. It all the time shines and I am the jyoti. Right? Jyotihi jolati brahmahamasmi. So this rishis, out of ecstasy they put these mantras. These mantras are their ecstasy. Their infinite happiness spills out this mantra. We recited at some important times. That's why I brought this mantra. Because these are all deep meaning. Why are they reciting these mantras? Because it should take us to that anubhava. It should remind us of that. So in very special occasions, we actually tell this mantra. It's a very nice, and you tell in chorus, it is so nice. We say, Ardram Jolati Jyoti Rahamasmi, Jyotir Jalati Brahma Hamasmi, Yo Hamasmi Brahma Hamasmi, Ahamasmi Brahma Hamasmi, Aham Eva Hammam Juhomi Swaha. We say that. This is exactly that shloka is saying, actually. This is exactly the shloka is saying, you are everything. There's nothing else. You are everything. What happened to this flow?
Saying that I am the God. I am Brahma.
Actually, the person who has that anubhava will never say that, first of all. For our reference, that words are told. A person who has experienced Aham Brahma doesn't say this may be an extraordinary anubhava. He may not be, the rishi may not be in his consciousness. That's why he's saying. Otherwise, the person who has experiences will just. So, in that sense, yes. So, there is another in Srimad Bhagavatam, in the Ekadasha Skanda. 11th Skanda is very Vishesha. People actually, Dattatreyaru, ಒಂದು 24 ಗುರುಗಳು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ. I have 24 gurus who have taught me. It's a very nice 8th chapter of. So in that there is one lady by name Pingala. She was a dasi. So after long years, she got finally the realization. At that time, she makes a few statements. So I will get only 2 shlokas. In that, she made 2 statements. She has been a dasi, but finally she finds her realization. That time she made a statement that is very relevant to this shloka that we are looking at. She says, Aho me mohavatitim pashyatam vijitatmanah ya kanta dasatah kamam kamaye yena balisha. Aho, she says, alas, me moha vitatim. I was deluded all these years. Moha vitatim aham. Me. Pashyata avijitatmanah. I was looking at this world with the unconquered mind. Jitatmanah. Jitatmanah is one who has won the. Then he has put one upasarga V to increase the effect. Visishtena jitatmanah, vijitatmanah. Then avijitatmanah means one who has not. A is also used for negative, na? Yesterday, dharma, adharma, like I said, no? So avijitatmanah. So all these days, I did not conquer my mind. I was like that. I was going after pleasures which are all balishaha. These are all very childish and very temporary kind of thing that I was going after. Then she says, Santam Samipe, 1 minute. Okay. Santam Samipe Ramanam Ratipradam Vittapradam Nityamimam Vihaya Akamadam Dukkha Bayadisho Shoka Moha Pradam Tuchamaham Bhajegnya. Bhagavatam is not easy, actually. It's not like, Bhagavad Gita. It's not that simple. One has to a little bit. Says, Mama Samipe Ramanam Ratipradam. She says, he was the Lord, Vishnu was with me all the time. Mama Samipe. And he was Ramanam, one on whom I can revel. He is called Ramana. I can revel all the time. Ramanam Ratipradam. He will give that Rati. Rati is Ramana, the enjoyment, feeling of the happiness and contentness. So Ratipradam, Vittapradam, he will give all riches that you want. Nityam Imam. Always this Lord will give all that Vihaya, Akamadam. He is beyond Kama. Right? After all that I left and I went after Dukkha Bayadi. Bayadi means ... Dukkha Baya, you add all that you need to add after that. Etal. In English they say etal. Kama. Huh? So Dukkha Bayadi Shoka Moha Pradam. Whereas the other option which I was spending all my life is what? It is Dukkha Bayadi Shoka Moha Pradam. It will delude me. It will give me Dukkha. It will give me Shoka. It will give me Baya. Tucham. Aham Bhaje. I was going after such thing. Ajna. There is a avagraha there. Akara. Ajna. Jna is no. Ajna is I don't know. So out of ignorance, I have been going like this. I think what I should go for a Nirantara Sukha is with me inside. That's what this shloka is saying. Atmanyeva Atman Pashyan Atmani Tushyati. That's what this Pingala, this is part of that Dattatraya's 24 things. This also comes. I thought I will just share this. So that is what Krishna is saying, that we will start slowly experiencing that much bigger thing which is inside and start giving up the experiences of that part. We'll engage in the work, but we'll give up the experience part. We will delete that component. That's what he is saying. Sukham atyantikam yattat buddhigrahyamatīndriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitas chalati tattvataha. Atyantikam sukham, the ultimate effect of sukha that you can ask for. All these are temporary, fleeting. Ivottu irate naale iralla, hogbidutte. Unchuru irate aamele iralla. It is not permanent. Ulidirodella. It is not permanent. It is not nirantara. It is not available in plenty. It is all limited, like that. Because how much sukha you can get by eating your favorite sweet? If you eat too much, it will be not sukha. It will be hospital. So they have a very limited ability to give you sukha. How much sukha can you have by seeing IPL? People are seeing, I don't know how much sukha is that. After some time, you should get really tired of IPL. Right? So they are all limited. Whereas this is Sukham Atyantikam. Yat Tat. Right? And Buddhigrahyam. This Buddhi somehow, that's why I said, in Sushupti, awareness illa. Illi awareness barate. That's why it's called Buddhigrahyam. The Buddhi has cognizance in the health. We have recognized it. We have developed, we are aware of it. That is what it is. That's why it's called Buddhigrahyam Atindriyam. Just now I said, it is joy, not enjoyment business. It is beyond Indriyas. It doesn't come through Indriyas. Only when you shut down the Indriyas, it is coming. Adike udaharana Sushupti. Sushuptinelli Buddhigrahyam illa. Anubhava matra ide. Whereas in Dhyana, that will also add up. Buddhigrahyam Atindriyam. It is beyond the Indriyas. You don't need these bells and whistles called Indriyas. It is beyond all that. Without all that, it can happen. Buddhigrahyam Atindriyam Veti Yatra Cha Eva Ayam. he reaches that place. He really reaches that state. That person who made this effort will reach that state. He will really reach that place. And tattvataha stitaha na chalati. The na we have to take it for chalati. There is a na in between. You have to take it. Na cheva ayam, na cha eva ayam chalati. You don't, that experience is not something you got and then that's all. It went off. It's not like that. You are able to hold on to that experience. You are able to have that anubhava all the time. So tattvataha stitaha na chalati. It doesn't waver. It doesn't go out of our ability to experience that. So that is what he is saying in this sloka. Atyantikam sukham is the most important thing, because in our life it takes enormous time to even get this realization that all the sukha, that all that niceties and good things in the inventory of all that we acquired in our life, that is how we spend life. Enormous effort we put and spend, only to find that I don't know of anybody. If you can tell me anybody, tell me. I don't know of anybody who has said, I have said enough. Even this person who started a company called Satyam, it was not enough for him. He got into some nonsense. He didn't felt the need for being enough for him. No? So they go after it. It's called Trishna. That's why in Bhajagovindam. No, it is, sir, greediness is a mild word. Trishna. See, there is a word Trishna. In Bhajagovindam, you find this word Trishna. Ellavase nija karmopatam nityam. Bhajagovindam, Muda jahihi danagama Trishna. Yes, Shankaracharya has used the right word. Dana agama Trishna. See, the word Trishna is a very interesting word. I have spoken about it at other places. I don't know. I have told you sometime in our lectures. See, there is this, there is this word. There is one verb form in Sanskrit. In English, they call it as desiderative form. See, thirst. Daha ide. Pipasa anta heltare Sanskritanalli. Bubuksha. Bubuksha andre hunger. Alva? Bubuksha. Pipasa. Titirsha. Titirsha means taritum ichati. I want to cross. It's called titirsha. Jugupsa. I want to get angry. The jugupsa. So all these are called desiderative form, which means I want to. How do you express something I want to? I want to drink water. How do you say in English? You say, I am thirsty. The thirsty means I want to drink water. Ishtu ide thirst. Undu padanalli. Hungry andre nange uta beku. Idella alli ide. Ade taraha bubuksha. Bubuksha means I'm hungry. Idella okay. Trishna anta undu ide. Idukke adike ಏನು difference ಏನು ಅಂದ್ರೆ bubuksha andre undu you can take maybe when you are hungry you can take 4 idlis, maybe 6 idlis. You are very hungry, 8 idlis. You can't take 800 idlis. You can't even take 100 idlis. It comes to an end. Alva? If you are very thirsty, 1 liter of water, half a liter, 1 liter, maybe 2 liter. I don't think you can drink beyond 2 liter. Even 2 liter may be very difficult. It all puts a limit. ಅದರಿಂದ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಹೋಗಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಈ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್, ಡೆಸಿಡರೇಟಿವ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್. ಬುಭುಕ್ಷ, ತಿತಿರ್ಷ, ಪಿಪಾಸ, all these. Trishna means that which is unquenchable. ಅದು ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಆಗೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ. That is the word called Trishna. It can never get satisfied. So look at now, Shankaracharya has used that word. Muda jahihi dana agama Trishna. Unlimited quench. ಎಷ್ಟು ಇದೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಸಾಲಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇದೆ Trishna. That's why the Indian expedition to South Pole is called Trishna. If you don't have Trishna, you will never reach South Pole. The Indian government uses nice Sanskrit words to name. If you carefully look at these words, they are very meaningful actually. So the Indian expedition to South Pole was named Trishna. ಅಷ್ಟು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕು, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ಸೌತ್ ಪೋಲ್ ಹೋಗೋಕೆ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಹಾವ್ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಚಿಂಗ್ ಡಿಸೈರ್, ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಆಯ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಮುಂದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾನೆ. ಸೊ ದಟ್ಸ್ ವೈ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಕೃಷ್ಣ. ಬಟ್ ವಿತ್ ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಲ್ ಅನ್ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್. ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಲಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅದಿಲ್ಲ. ಆತ್ಯಂತಿಕಂ ಸುಖಂ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ತೃಷ್ಣ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. We will go beyond Trishna. A format which is beyond Trishna is what he is talking about. That's why he says Sukham Atyantikam yat tat buddhi grahyam atindriyam. See, this atindriya is also very important. See, the greatest experiences of all of us, ಅದು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಂತ ಜನಗರಿಗೆ ಖಂಡಿತ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ನಮಗೆ ಕೂಡ ಇದೇ ಇದೆ. The greatest, you think of the greatest experiences of your life, somewhere you will find that it is atindriya. The indriyas are not required. Only when it crossed it, you got that experience. A deep anubhava. Moment you say anubhava, it is beyond the indriyas. Indriyas can only bring some signals. Beyond that, it cannot do. See, please understand, indriyas cannot do anything other than bringing some signals. This is like this, if I have to roughly say, if I have to present this picture to you, now we are dealing with the world. Divasa ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ದ ರಾತ್ರಿ ತನಕ ಏನೇನೋ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ. What is the science behind it? ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯನ್ ಸೈಕಾಲಜಿನಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. What is the science? We have what is called jnanendriyas. That's why we call them as jnanendriyas. Your jnana will come only through these 5 layers. Pancha tanmatras. 5 matras ide. That's why Krishna used the word matras sparshasta kaunteya sitoshna sukha dukkataha agamapayino anityaha tam titikshasva bharata. That's what he said in chapter 2, 14th sloka. That matras are basically, what it means is, today modern science, what is it saying? You see something. Modern science, medical science is saying, seeing means the eye actually picks up some signals. It reflects on the retina. Then the science says this signal goes, there is a signal. Finally, it is not like sound is not sound, it is only a signal. Finally, everything is converted into a signal, and signal travels through something to some part of your brain. And in that part of the brain, it gets connected. ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಾಡರ್ನ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ, ಈ ತರ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಹಿರಿಯರು ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು. He used a different word. They use what? There is a tanmatra for hearing. There is a listening, smelling and all that. So now these are called jnani. So through that it comes. That's why for a blind man also the eyeballs will look exactly like this. This is only bells and whistles. Tanmatra ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಯೋಜನ ಇಲ್ಲ. For a person who cannot speak, the mouth will be like every one of us or mouth. He'll also have tongue and all that. Nothing will happen. The tanmatra is not there. So what happens is, what we do in the world comes like signals. Now the question is, what happens to, and then we react. You told something to me, then I shout back at you. You told something, I shout, and then this goes on. Or I give you a slap. Or nowadays in America, the child takes the pistol and then shoots some 19 people or some 20. Every 2 months I am seeing this. This is the development. I don't know whether I have to laugh at it or cry at it. I don't know. This is the development we have found in Western society. Anyway, so when these signals come, how do I react? This is the question now. These are questions of psychology. You ಹೇಳ್ತೀರಾ, I may not react. Somebody will react very violently with you. Somebody will give you a slap. Somebody will shout at you. ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಒಂದೊಂದು response. There's a stimulus and a response. The stimulus comes through the jnanendriya. The response goes through the karmendriya. That's why they are called karmendriyas. If you have to slap somebody, you need to use a hand. That's why it's karmendriya. Right? Bad karma, not a right example. I am just saying. Or you have to shout at somebody, you use a karmendriya. So that's why they are called karmendriyas. So now the question is, what happens between these two? Stimulus is coming, there is a response going. What is happening in between the two? ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಬ್ಬರಿಗೆ ಬೇರೆ ಬೇರೆ ತರ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಈಗ ಅಲ್ವಾ. So the question is, what is happening between these two? This is where this fellow mind is sitting. The mind is like a desk clerk. He is supposed to work like a desk clerk. If signal comes, he should collect the signal. It will only go to the mind. Mind is the super indriya. It is without mind, it will not pass anywhere further. This is how the structure is. Our structure is like that. Any signal that comes has to first land only at the mind. Now the question is, what is mind going to do? Because some fellows in offices, what they do, they don't tell anything to the boss. They are so arrogant, they will take decisions and they create such a mess in the office. His mind is, an untrained mind is always like that. He is a very arrogant fellow. So he will give instruction. One person came and asked for begging for alms. The question is, what do we have to do? If you use this methodology and analyze it, the signal will come. Signal ಬಂದ ಮೇಲೆ ಮೈಂಡ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಇವನು ಬೆಗ್ಗರು, ಏಕೆಂದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವರೂಪ ನೋಡುತ್ತೆ, ಅವನು ಹೇಳಿದ ಮಾತು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು, ಅವನು ನಟೆ ಉಟೆ ಭಾವನೆಗಳು ನನಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಐ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಡೇಟಾಬೇಸ್, ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಚಿತ್ತ. ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಚಿತ್ತ ಅದು ಒಳಗಡೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ಸೊ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಐ ನೌ ಆಲ್ ದ ಜ್ಞಾನೇಂದ್ರಿಯಾಸ್ ಗಿವ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್. ಸೊ ನೌ ಐ ಅಂಡರ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಎ ಬೆಗ್ಗರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಸ್ ಕಮ್ ಆಸ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸಮ್ ಮನಿ. ನೌ ದ ಕ್ವೆಶ್ಚನ್ ಇಸ್, ವಾಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಐ ಡೂ? ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ there is this buddhi. The buddhi is blinds neutral. Buddhi is not as bad as mind. Buddhi is very objective. You know what buddhi will do? Buddhi will say giving is good. Giving is a good act. Buddhi will also say, if you give, this fellow will come tomorrow. That also buddhi only will say. Buddhi will only supply information. It will give all information. It is very, very neutral, very objective. And buddhi will also say, this fellow is very strong and healthy, don't give. Adu baratte aa taraha. So ಒಂದು 20 inputs ಇದೆ ಈಗ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ನಾವು, you may, if I say something, you may shout back at me in less than 10 seconds. ಇದು ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಷ್ಟು ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸಿಂಗ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದೇ ನಾನು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಈಗ. We have a super computer. It works at such a speed. So now buddhi will say, he is a beggar, giving is a good act, it is an act of compassion. He is healthy, he can find his money, why should we give? If you give here today, he will come tomorrow. All that the buddhi will say. Now the question is, who will take a decision? And how do we take a decision? So, if we are into this thing, it is called indriya. And I brought it for saying, what is atindriya? Atindriya means something which is beyond all the idella and beda. I will switch off all these gadgets of receiving signal, processing the signal, taking a position on it, and giving a command to the karma, karmendriyas, go and do it, right? All that, if you keep away. In dhyana, all these are not required. And there are some experiences that happens to us, which may be a second order, third order experience. They are all atindriya. And if they are atindriya, that will stay with us. That is why he is using the word like that. And they are all, only the buddhi is working. It is very neutral. It is not colored like the mind. Mind is very colored. So in all untrained mind will take a decision. Mind should not take a decision. Let's say buddhintu sarathim viddhi. Indriyani paranyahu. There is one shloka that Pathasarthi image which I said. Indriyani paranyahu. Indriyebhya paramana. Manasastu para buddhi. Buddhestu parasastu saha. So in a trained mind with dhyana, the mind will be said, you are a desk clerk, you are not a CEO anymore. Sit here. Your job is collect the signal and give. Somebody will process it. Faithfully collect it and give it to karmendriya. ನೀವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಕೂತಿರಿ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. You do only postman job. ಅದೇ ಧ್ಯಾನ will do only that. Dhyana will bring mind to its place. So the anubhava will be beyond the indriyas. Now mind is not going to play the role. That's why Krishna uses the word atindriya. Buddhigrahyam atindriyam. He says, that's why it is also steady now. Sthitas tattvataha sthitaha na chalati. All the moment you bring the indriyas and the mind into the equation, it cannot be steady. So the steady is because you have kept all these fellows out. And that is the job of dhyana. Dhyana develops that capability in us. ಆ ಸಾಮರ್ಥ್ಯ ನಮಗೆ ಒಂಚೂರು ಬೆಳೆಸ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. It will get slowly, it will develop over a period of, so that is why this anubhava will come. Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tatah yasmin stito na dukkena guruna vichalyate. Yam labdva, having attained this anubhava and this capability, ee samarthya, sampadana mad mele, yam labdva cha aparam labham na adhikam manyate tatah. Beyond these, this asking for any more will come to an end. We will say, no, nothing I need. I am very satisfied. I have got that ultimate. That is the thing that will happen. Yam labdva cha aparam labham adhikam tatah na manyate. That's how you have to reorder these words so that it becomes a sentence. Yam labdva cha aparam labham adhikam na manyate tatah. Idirinda inna jasti nanku beda. I have come to an end now. We are endlessly, we don't know when we will get satisfied. Ade journey nali we are going. We are in that endless journey. We would have crossed the 99 in the Paramapada and reached 100. All the snakes and ladders are over. That is what it means. Huh? So he says, Yasmin stitah, being in that state, because you have understood that, this gives me that kind of a feeling of contentment. In chapter 2 of Bhagavad Gita, epatne shloka ide. Apuryamanamachala pratishtam samudrama apapravishanti yadvat. That is a wonderful example he gives. The ocean, apuryamanam, it is brimming with fullness. Achalam. So only in the beach it is like that. You go on the 500 meters, if you go inside the ocean, it is complete silence. Apuryamanam achala pratishtam samudram apaha pravishanti. Brahmaputra is the greatest river I have seen in my life ever. They talk coast to coast. Bridge is 14 kilometers, 7 kilometers. Modi has built a bridge. Islands are there. If you want to know how to become humble, go and see Brahmaputra in Dibrugarh. That's the end of the story. First time I saw it when I went to Dibrugarh from the flight. I was stunned. Because the flight was, the airport is very near Brahmaputra. So what river is this? And next time I went to Guwahati, I thought I was in a beach. It was actually the riverside. Such a great river. Even if it empties all its water into Bay of Bengal will not shake. That's what the shloka is saying. Apuryamana. That fullness. So we will get that fullness. That fullness is what he says.
Here, they establish one is not true even by heavy sorrow and joy. Both.
Yes. Very much. I'll come to that. Yes. So, Yasmin Stitaha, reveling in that state, he will get that Apuryamana Achala Pratishtas Anubhava will come. Yasmin Stitaha Na Dukkena Guru means heavy. Right? So even with the heavy dukkha, sometimes very bad things happen to us. Adella prarabdha. See, we should understand, if you understand prarabdha, our life will become a lot more meaningful. Today, if it happens that today I have to, get a small, fracture of my little finger, it does happen. I mean, happen in the day, it has happened. I'm not saying it does happen, I'll take something and then break. Use astrology in that. I'm not talking that part of it. I'm saying many events that are unfolding in our life are already wired into it. Therefore, we should not worry too much about the events. And we may have emotions. After all, we have emotions. But as jasti irbardu. We have to move on. And in order to move on, we should understand we all step into a janma with a bag of prarabdha, and we are only exhausting it. So we should focus on the future rather than worrying about this is past. It is coming out. You already committed for it. So if you have that feeling, then all these dukkhas are happening because of that. Dukkhas are already ordained. We are only seeing it. So people ask then, what is all this prayer and all these? People ask me. I say, the God will actually enable you so well to go through that. If you have to go through a fractured leg today, you will go through. God will not give any discount, because in chapter 5, we have discussed that. There is on 14 sloka, in which he says, I am not responsible for what you do. That's what he says. I am not responsible for anything that you do. But with the Bhagavat Anugraha, we will weather that challenge very well. That's why we should do it. We will have the right frame of mind to weather the challenge. No discounts. But we will weather the challenge. We will go through it. Our nam jotake prayana martare. You put one step with your bhakti, God will put 2 steps for you. But you will go through it. So he says, Gurunapi dukkena na vichalyate. You don't get shaken by the deepest of your distress and dukkha. Now, Adi Shankaracharya has given a definition for titiksha in Viveka Chudamani. He says, Sahanam sarva dukkana. He never included Santosha there. He only said, Sahanam sarva dukkanam apratikara purvakam Chintalapa varahitam sa titiksha ityuchyate. This is the shloka. It's a very interesting shloka. When you are in trouble, you need support. When you are in happiness, you don't need support. Nobody wants support. You want to enjoy your happiness alone. But for trouble, you need a support system. Looks like. Look at our psychology is so bad. Human psychology is so messed up. We have to sort it out. That's why Shankaracharya says, Sahanam sarva dukkhanam. He never said Sahanam sarva santoshanam. Santosha, you have an ability to Sahata Bharate. Dukkha ke beko. Ade taraha, Vichalyate is the word here. You are not shaken by happiness, but you are shaken by dukkha. But what you said is another thing. That is also true. Meaning that Dvandva Bhava and Adita Varagbeku Attanda helta idare. But here, because it says you are shaken. Nobody is shaken by joy, but people are shaken by sorrow. Adike pada use madidare. But the larger thing is what you said. So he says, Gurunapi, however greater be the distress, you will somehow develop that frame of mind to take it. Because prasada buddhi will come. You just take it. Let anything happen, we'll take it. So these are all the things that will happen, is what Krishna is saying. Tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sanchitam Sanischayena yoktavya yogo anirvinna chetasa. In Sandhi, the akara has gone. Yogo nirvinna chetasa. Nirvinna is not the meaning there. The meaning is anirvinna, opposite. That's why I split it and read like that. There is a avagraha there. Okay. Anyway, when we recite, we will say nirvinna, but we must understand the meaning there is anirvinna, not nirvinna. That's why the avagraha is there. Okay. Anyway, so tam vidyat dukkha sanyoga viyogam is a single word. Dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Very interesting choice of words in this chapter, actually. Dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Yoga sanchitam. Saha nischayena yoktavyaha yogaha anirvinna chetasa. This is how the shloka is split into padas. Here, the interesting word is dukkha sanyoga viyoga. So what Sri Krishna has done, he has first attached dukkha to us. Sanyoga means well connected. Yoga is connection. Sanyoga is some is the upasarga is better, well. So first he says, Nam life yatara ide, dukkha sanyoga ide. So he has first to put that word. For a normal untrained mind, for a normal mind which is still not cultured enough, which is not refined enough, which is not controlled enough, it is dukkha sanyoga. So let us start from there first. ತಾಪತ್ರಯಗಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ಸಾಯಂಕಾಲ ತನಕ ಏನೇನೋ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. That's why he has first used the word dukkha sanyoga. Then he says, now I will cut it. Viyoga is cutting it. Right? Now he attaches and then cuts. He could have simply said dukkha viyoga. He never said that. He says, an untrained mind has the knack of manufacturing dukkha for you. That's why sanyoga happens there. So he is cutting at the root this manufacturing of dukkha for you. Illandre ee manasu ide kelsa ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. It will bring ತಾಪತ್ರಯಗಳು manufacture ಮಾಡಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ತರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So adai cut, it goes and cuts that. That's why he has used two different words and put it there. Dukkha sanyoga viyoga. Dukkasya sanyogah, dukkha sanyogah. This is samasa. Basically, it's a samasa pada, samasta pada. First it is tatpurusha samasa. Dukkasya sanyogah, dukkha sanyogah. Dukkha sanyogasya viyogah, dukkha sanyogasya viyogah, dukkha sanyoga viyogah. ಮೂರು ಪದಗಳು ಸಮಾಸ ಆಗಿದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. ಸಮಸ್ತ ಪದ ಎಲ್ಲ ತತ್ಪುರುಷ ಸಮಾಸ. ಎರಡು ತತ್ಪುರುಷ ಸಮಾಸ ಇದೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ. Anyway, that is how it is. So, dukkha sanyoga viyogam tam vidyat, yoga samchitam tam vidyat. One who is in that state of yoga, and what will it do? It will cut this pain business. Why? Because atindriyam buddhigrahyam, you have connect all. It is a very nice argument that is coming. Now we in the world of dualities, now oragade banbidtivi. We will revel inside, so we will do vyavahara outside, but we will not bring all those stimulus inside and try to respond for everything like that. We will not do it. So because of that, he will be yoga sanchitam, one who is had a sampadana of the yoga, he or she will develop this capability of dukkha sanyoga viyoga. Saha yogaha nischayena yoktavya. Therefore, Arjuna, I have told you so many benefits. Therefore, you must try to do this yoga. You must try to become a yogi. Saha yogaha nischayena yoktavya. That is the prose order. That yoga must be tried, must be seriously taken. For all these good things that I am saying, you must take that. This you must practice this. Nischayena yoktavya. Make an effort. Anirvinna chetasa. Your chetas ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. Anirvinna chetas. Distractions ಮಾಡಬಾರದು. So all that I have said are such good things for you. Therefore, definitely, oh Arjuna, you must. It has so much benefits for you. Therefore, please do that. Is what he is saying here. I think we'll stop here. This is a very, maybe one more we can take. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan. There is a complex sandhi. I will come to it. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan aseshatah. There is a sakara, there is a makara. All those are in sandhi. I will come to it. That's why it looks quite complex there. Sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan aseshatah manassaivendriya kramam viniyamya samantatah. So this kaman sarvan aseshatah tyaktva is drop. Aseshatah, Don't even leave a trace. Leave all these, this desire will destroy you. Don't walk into this trap. This is a mouse trap. Don't walk into this trap of desires. Aseshatah sarvan kaman tyaktva. Okay, there, when nakara, when the Sanskrit word ends with nakara, in, then there is a takara. Tyaktva is ta. Then there is a four-step process in which it will first remove the na, put a anuswara im, and put a is also. There are rules. That's why it becomes ims tyaktva, kamams tyaktva. Right? That's what happens here. And there is one shloka in chapter 4 also. You'll find a very small thing. It's not coming to my mind suddenly. As I talk, I will come to me. I think it will come. I think. So it says Sankalpa Prabhavan. And where are these kamas coming from? They are all coming from Sankalpa. That's what he's saying. Sankalpa Prabhavan Kama. These kaman are all getting manufactured because of Sankalpa. So you have to understand these words very clearly. Sankalpa meaning Sankalpa Madbeku. Illandre kelsa eno agalla. These words we have to understand very carefully. So when he say Sankalpa Prabhavan Kaman Tyaktva, when he says like that, that means make Sankalpa. But your Sankalpa and the results should not be, the expectations of the results are so tightly now connected. That is where the problem is. So when you say Kaman Tyaktva means that result, whatever comes, I will do Sankalpa and do. Whatever comes, comes. That person actually has dropped his desire. That is the meaning of dropping a desire. Desire means somehow I should get the result. And somehow becomes sometimes hook or crook. By hook or crook, I will get the result. That is where the danger comes. That's why, you get into, Sanga Sanjayate, Kama, Kama, Prodobi Jayate, all that will come. That's where that happens. So, desire is only when you are saying, I have desire, I want this to happen, but I want this to happen. If it doesn't happen, I am not going to live. That is called desire. But if you say, I want this to happen and put your best foot forward, it didn't happen, then you are not bothered, then that means you don't have any desire, but you will still continue to do work. You will do what? You will put the best foot forward and try. And when it comes, with the prasada buddhi, you will take it. That is a desireless, that's called Naishkamya karma. That is the true Naishkamya karma. What is Naishkamya karma? Karma, set objectives and do. Target set madi. Idu ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ set ಮಾಡಿ, target set ಮಾಡಿ, ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿ. ಏನೋ ಬರುತ್ತೆ finally. ತಗೊಂಡು ಹೋಗಿ. Whatever it comes, take it and go. With grace. With a lot of grace, accept what comes. Anything which is done with accepting the results as it comes cannot be called as desire. So this word desire, you have to understand very, very carefully. The word kama means I will not compromise on the outcome. I will do something to get the outcome by hook or crook. That hook or crook develops after some time because I am so much bent after. That is called desire. That is called kama. That kama comes from this sankalpa. And that is done by the manas. Sankalpa vikalpamanam manaha. That's the definition I gave. So sankalpa prabhavan kaman tyaktva sarvan aseshatah manasi eva indriya gramam niyamya. Grama means group. The word grama means cluster of houses. The cluster is called grama actually. In Sanskrit, grama means a cluster. So indriya cluster. 5 indriyas are there, no? Pancha karma indriyas, pancha jnana indriyas. There's a group. Adike indriya grama anta heltare. So manasi eva indriya gramam niyamya samantatah. So you do. He said yoga nischayana yoktavyaha. He said in the previous shloka. He once again reminds how to do that. Okay. He says sankalpan prabhavan kaman tyaktva aseshatah manaseva indriya gramam niyamya samantatah yogaha nischita yoktavyaha nischayana yoktavyaha. So one stretch of thoughts of what will happen to a person who actually does dhyana, who really travels in this world of little bit. And we have to do once. Tomorrow is going to say, let us see tomorrow. Sanai, Sanai Uparame. He said, don't worry, slowly we will go. Don't worry, don't get tensed up. He comforts us with some one or two shlokas like that, which we will see tomorrow. I think it is 7:59, 8 o'clock now. We will stop here. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Tomorrow,
Not tomorrow, day after.
we will not have a class.
Yeah, please.
But we will have a homework. Here all sadhakas,